What's up, y'all? It's your girl Bella, and welcome to my channel. I know it's been a very long time since I have created a video, and there's a reason for that. Before we start, I want to say thank you to every single person who has reached out to me, who has provided a safe space for me to express myself. For those who have sent their condolences, I want to say thank you, because I don't want that to go unnoticed. So the purpose of this video is really to provide like open and honest conversation surrounding grief, and to kind of just share my personal experiences with you guys, and just to provide, you know, a safe and supportive community for anyone who's going through similar experiences and challenges and going through this, and just providing empathy and some words that I hope can contribute to your healing. So before we begin, I just want everybody to just take a deep breath and release. Inhale again and release. One more time. Inhale, hold it, fill your lungs, and release. Okay, just to provide some anchoring. So for those who don't know, my father passed away last year in July. Unexpectedly. He was not sick. He was a very healthy person. He spoke positive over his life. So it was just very, to me, very cruel to go through this experience, to know that he left this world so unexpectedly and so soon, you know. I'm so grateful that I was able to experience my father in this lifetime. If anybody has followed my journey, my healing journey, my self-discovery journey, you all know I'm adopted, right? I was adopted at the age of 2. And my dad was just an inspiration and very wise. He was a leader, you know. He had empathy. He was very intentional about his life. And I'm gonna miss him. The family's gonna miss him, and he's forever in our hearts. And thank you, Daddy, so much for contributing to this world, this planet, and bringing your light and sharing it with us. With my father passing, there has just been like a roller coaster of emotions. Everything in my life has been shaken up. Like my perspective of life, my perspective of relationships, friendships, my daily routines have changed. And when I say like my perspective has changed, it just makes me realize, like, don't go through life taking for granted the people who are there for you, or just taking for granted of how you are experiencing life. It's not to say be so serious about life and be so uptight about everything, but to give yourself moments to be present. Give yourself moments to be thankful and grateful for waking up in the morning, for those who do support you. You know, sometimes we spend so much time worrying about who's not supporting us and who's not there and who's not doing this, that the people who are there, it's like, hello, pay attention. You know what they say, like, where focus goes, energy flows. Like, that's the truest statement. Like, focus on those who do show up for you, who are consistent in your life, who are reliable, who do share words of love and wisdom and joy with you. Just making sure that I'm just being more intentional about how I want to show up in the world, you know, like knowing that how I show up in the world affects other people too. It's not always just about me. Like, yes, I'm self-full. I'm pouring into myself to make sure that I'm full, to make sure that I'm healthy and happy, right? But it's also about you being one of so many people of the collective who bring something into the space, into a room, into an experience. So just being intentional about my mornings, being intentional about the environments that I'm in, not allowing other people to make me feel bad because I have a standard with who I want to be around, the places I want to go and the places I want to experience. That's my prerogative. That's my business, right? Grieving and going through this loss has made me very intentional about my relationships. Make it my business to tell those that I love and care about that I love them, to just be more vocal and vulnerable. Who cares if I look weird or look crazy for saying, hey, I love you, or hey, mental health check, how you doing today? So when we talk about grief, let's talk about what grief is, okay? Grief is a natural and complex, emphasis on complex, response to loss, right? Like there's no one response. There's no one experience when you experience loss or when you're grieving. You will experience a range of emotions that you never thought you could experience in a short amount of time or in a certain time period. You're going to experience anger. You're going to experience sadness. You're going to experience moments of joy. You're going to experience confusion. So I think it's really important that we don't demonize people for having their own experience with grief. There have been moments for me where things just seem so surreal. Like, I can't believe this is real. There have been times where it didn't even seem like my father was gone until I looked over and saw the picture of him in his program, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? I used to sing my dad songs. There are songs that I find and I'm just like, dang, my dad would love this song. Well, I think my dad would like this song because of the melody, because of the beat. I've experienced anger. There are times where I don't want to talk to anyone. Don't ask me for favors. Don't ask me to do nothing. Don't ask me. Those are moments I feel like I'm just tired of everybody. I want to move to another country, start over. There are times I get really sad because I realize my dad will never see me get married. He will never be there to walk me down the aisle. He won't see me when I have my first child. It's just not the same. It's just not the same, and it hurts. You know, there are times I think about how my dad was there during the most traumatic times of my life. When I was going through an abusive relationship with somebody, and this person was threatening to throw all my stuff out, and you know, my dad was there with me to go get my stuff. Sorry, I'm not gonna cry on camera. But it's like I just be thinking like it's not fair. With my father, I can go to him and have conversations about mindset, about reality creation, about attachment styles, about me being adopted, about my life. And I will always leave feeling like life is easier than I make it. And I'm making life harder than what it needs to be. But whenever I left my father, whenever I left hanging with him or having a conversation with him, I always felt like things will be okay, you know? So I brought it over to the kitchen because the lighting is better over here. One thing that I did leave out that I experienced last year that was very transformational for me was, you all know that I'm adopted, and in 2022 I began my journey on searching for my biological parents. But I was really interested in finding information about my birth mother. I found out last year that my birth mother actually passed away 10 years ago, which was very disheartening because I was really interested in learning about who she was and what she's been through, because I know she's been through a lot. That was another person I was grieving. In this process, you're going to be grieving versions of yourself that once was. You're not going to feel like the same person you was before the loss. There are going to be many changes to the way that you think, to the way that you process information, to the way that you feel, to the way that you interact with people, to like decisions that you make in life. And in the process, you may even grieve people in your life, because once you reflect and once you begin your journey, everybody's not going to understand the journey that you're on. It's just really important that you stay true to yourself, that you stay grounded and planted in your truth. Not only was I grieving my father, I was grieving a version of myself that once was, that will not be, but in a good way. Like, I'm grieving like the people pleaser. I'm grieving the super nice about everything person. I'm grieving just a lot of aspects of myself that don't work for me anymore. And then I'm grieving my birth mother, who I've been excited to meet like literally my entire life, that I will never get to meet. And that's very, yeah. So I'm giving myself grace. I'm giving myself grace, and I'm making sure that I'm allowing myself the space to, you know, live my life, take care of myself, take care of my mental health, give myself space, and love on myself. I want to talk about why it's important to grieve. Like, it's so important to grieve because it's a natural thing to do. It's perfectly fine to reach out for, I guess, resources, or, you know, reach out to a professional to kind of get a better understanding, because it is confusing. Grieving is very confusing. Sometimes you feel guilty, sometimes you feel happy, sometimes you feel angry, sometimes you feel sad, sometimes you feel okay. They come in waves, right? But if you suppress those emotions, there will be effects that happen with your emotional and mental well-being. So you don't want to hold that stuff down. I want to talk about healthy coping mechanisms that I've implemented in my life since my father's passing. First of all, I think it's really important to find a healthy outlet to express yourself and to release your emotions, because emotions do get stored in the body. And if you don't find healthy ways to cope or to express yourself or to let these feelings out, they will manifest in other ways. Things I've been doing to cope in a healthy way. Journaling. I've been more intentional about journaling. I've been journaling, but I'm a little bit more intentional about it, especially knowing all of the emotions that I'm experiencing, the range of emotions that I'm experiencing. I am talking to a mental health professional, a therapist, about my experiences, so that way I could just feel more connected with my journey. Talking to family, talking with loved ones. I know a lot of people may not have family that they're close to. I've even joined like support groups, because a lot of the times you may feel something that you may feel scared to share with your family, because maybe you're afraid they may give you a response that is not a response that you want or that will help. So I would definitely suggest going to Facebook, looking up like support groups for grieving, or just going online, going to Google, look for support groups for those experiencing loss. You all know I'm a creative, so I've been working on some creative projects, some that I've put off, some new ones that I've been working on. I've been working on new music, allowing myself to express myself through music. And to be honest, in the past I've always been very hesitant to expressing how I truly feel, because a lot of the stuff that I feel it can seem very extreme, but that's my reality, and that could be the same for you. Like, a lot of us kind of don't fully express ourselves because we feel like maybe we're too much or we're too intense, and it's good that we're very mindful of how our actions affect others, but it's very important that you find outlets. It could literally be you finding, you could write a poem, write a song. So I have been taking myself out on more solo dates, reading more. I love to read. I don't know if it's all that Sag energy in me, you know, higher learning, all that stuff. It's important to find healthy outlets to express yourself, because if you suppress your emotions, they will manifest in unhealthy ways. Stress from grieving can manifest in different ways. It can manifest through low energy, numbness, like not feeling any type of way about anything, detachment, headaches, digestive issues, anger, like chronic anger, lack of motivation, social withdrawal, not wanting to be in social settings like ever. Stress manifested for me as chest pain and chest tightness and chest discomfort and chest tenderness. This is the first time I've ever experienced this. I went to the doctor and they told me that it's anxiety. So I've done all the blood tests, because I'm just like, And to be fully transparent, because of the way my father passed away, it has heightened like just some fear you know. And I'm trying to shift that. Like maybe like 2 weeks ago, I had my first experience that I think was an anxiety attack. I felt dizzy, my chest was tight, I felt nauseous, I felt like I couldn't breathe. I literally felt like this is it. I sat down, I kept trying to breathe, but then those thoughts came in, and it was very, very, very scary, y'all. So it's just really important to, you know, pay attention to how you're feeling, pay attention to how you're feeling consistently. Pay attention to what you're thinking. Pay attention to cognitive symptoms. Pay attention to physical symptoms, emotional symptoms. Don't ignore it. It's so important to grieve on your own terms, because the way you grieve is probably not going to fit societal terms of how you should be grieving and how long you should be grieving. You'll be surprised at how so many people feel like it's been a year, you should be over it now. And it's like, excuse me? Figure out what that feels like for you. Or maybe you just don't know and you just going with the flow. But just when you ride the wave, give yourself grace. When you're grieving, find ways to keep that person in your memory. My screensaver is pictures of me and my dad. I have this necklace that has my dad's ashes in it that I wear, just knowing that I have him close and he's here in the spirit. You know, that's really important for those. If that's something that you're experiencing, find ways to keep their spirit and their memories like close to you. These are a couple things that I really want to express to anyone who's experiencing loss or who's grieving, and what you can do to kind of like help you through this journey and this process. Number one is support system. A support system is so important, and I understand that some people may not be really close to their family, or may be disconnected to some of their family. Support groups, as I suggested earlier, support groups on Facebook, support groups you can go in, physical places you can go in that offer support groups for those who are grieving. Don't feel like you have to do all of the things and share all of the feelings. Take it slow. The second thing is, we all know the heavy impact that grief has on our mental health. So we want to make sure that we're prioritizing our mental health, okay? And we could do this by implementing self-care, doing things that you actually like to do. If needed, seek a professional, a therapist or a counselor. Make sure that you are creating boundaries for yourself. Like, a lot of the times we can say yes to all of the things, but this is a time for you to prioritize yourself. Say no to things that you don't feel like doing. If you don't have the capacity for it, set those boundaries. Limit your stressors. I know a lot of us are addicted to stress. We're always thinking about the future. We want everything to be perfect. We're so used to thriving in crisis. But during this time, it's very important for you to limit your stress. Make sure you're practicing mindfulness. Take some time to just sit still. Breathe deeply. Don't forget to breathe. Make sure you're taking time to relax. I know sometimes we can get caught up in life and taking care of family, our children, working because we have bills, but you're not here to just do that stuff. You wasn't sent here to just pay bills, and you wasn't sent here to just take care of everybody. Make time and make room for yourself. Relax. Most importantly, you want to make sure that you're maintaining your health. Make sure you're getting sleep. Okay, make sure that you're eating good food for yourself. Like, yes, we all love pizza. We all love Harold's. Okay, we all love a 6-piece lemon pepper fry hard. But our body needs greens. Our body needs protein, fruits, okay, veggies. I also think it's like really important to engage with other people who have gone through similar experiences with you. If you need support, if you need community, I currently work at a mental health center. Stay in Chicago. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than welcome to help you and give you more information and more resources on how to navigate that. Although this has been like a crazy ride, I've also experienced moments of joy, moments of hope. You know, like, even though we're going through this, right, just know you're not alone. Okay, there are going to be better days. There are going to be days that you wake up and everything's going to feel okay. There are going to be moments that you have for yourself where you remember something of that person and it brings a smile to your face. I know for me personally, like, I was working on this business plan, and I was like, you know, Dad, send me a sign, and I had saw 333. And 333 is about creativity. It's about taking initiative for your creations. And the business plan was about this creative project that I was working on. And it was just confirmation to be like, okay, like, I still have a connection. I still talk to my dad. You know, like, when I pray, I'm like, God, connect me with my father. I've had moments of doubts, sadness, but I've also had moments of just like transformation, being able to look at life in a different aspect, being able to see myself in a different light, knowing that I can cultivate better experiences for myself, better relationships, better connections, because I admired and valued that connection so much. I know it's not always going to be easy. It's not, and I'm right here with you. I'm holding your hand just like this. Just imagine me holding your hand. You're not alone, okay? So I extend my heart to you. I just want to summarize everything by saying, like, grieving is normal. Grieve on your terms. Grieving does not look one particular way. Everybody's going to grieve in their own way, whether that's being more to themselves or actually needing more people around, more support around them, going out, having a good time, living their life to the fullest, going after their dreams and goals that they probably didn't focus on, but it's transformed the way that they view themselves in their life. Giving yourself grace, okay? Finding healthy ways to cope, okay? Because if you don't and you suppress your emotions, then those emotions can manifest as physical and cognitive and behavioral symptoms. There's nothing wrong with seeking support and help, especially if it's support from a professional, because that stuff is woo-woo. Especially in the Black community, it's looked at something's wrong with you because you're going to a therapist or a counselor to seek support. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? Make sure that you are taking care of your body. Make sure that you are listening to your body. Make sure you're prioritizing your mental health. Make sure you're finding ways to keep that person's memory alive, whether it's through your creations, whether it's through jewelry, pictures, screensavers, being around other family and sharing stories. There's so many support groups and numbers and websites that you can go to get the support that you need. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. I hope there was some healing, there was some knowledge that you gained from the video. If you guys have any questions about anything, you guys know that my main topics that I'm passionate about are empowerment, healing, mental and spiritual health, and astrology. You guys can follow me on Instagram at TheBellaAmi. You can subscribe to my channel, and I'm glad to be back, and I'm looking forward to being on this new journey with you guys, with this new version of myself, and it's gonna be a ride. Okay, love y'all.